Hi, Mighty Mommy here, and I'm ready to share some quick and dirty parenting tips with you that will help make your life as a parent a little bit easier and a lot more fun. In today's episode, the focus is all about what we as parents don't need to worry about. I'm your host, Cheryl Butler. Since kids don't come with owner's manuals, we often have to rely on our instincts to guide us through the tough terrain. With that comes a good dose of worry. That natural worry, though, is compounded by information we're constantly bombarded with via news reports, the web, and our well-intentioned friends and family. If you feel like you've become a worrywart, know that you're not alone. Mighty Mommy has had her share of fretting, too, but in the process of raising my 8 kids, I've discovered 5 things you definitely shouldn't lose sleep over. Worry number 1. What if I don't bond with my newborn? Bonding with your newborn is one of the first worries that new parents encounter. Bonding is that intense attachment parents develop with their baby. It's the feeling that makes you simply melt. You feel like you'd do anything in the world to care for and protect your new bundle of joy. Many expectant moms fantasize about that quintessential moment when they lay eyes on their baby shortly after birth. Harps will play, a golden light will surround you both, birds will tweet. You will instantly fall in love with this beautiful new being that you created, right? Not always. The truth is that being a new parent is exhausting. You'll feel stressed and overwhelmed at times. While nursing can help you bond with your baby, it also releases a flood of hormones that could leave you in an emotional whirlwind. And if you've had a long, difficult delivery, you may need to recover a bit before you can even concentrate on bonding. Mighty Mommy's first baby arrived through adoption. I held her for the first time when she was 8 hours old, and I truly did feel an instant connection that was intense and probably the most amazing feeling I'd ever experienced. 1 year later, I delivered my first biological baby. After a grueling 28-hour labor, I openly admit that when I held my son for the first time, it wasn't the remarkable moment I had expected. I was wiped from my delivery, and to be honest, I didn't exactly think he was the most attractive little guy in the world. The cone head, the peeling newborn skin, his scrawny little legs. Since it was my first delivery, I had no idea that this is what a newborn usually looks like. I was disappointed, but guess what? Within the first few weeks, we did bond, and I fell completely in love with every inch of him. That baby of mine is now 20 years old. So don't be concerned if you don't feel that sense of wow when your baby first arrives. Over time, you'll get to know and enjoy your newborn. Learn how to comfort her and your feelings will deepen. That first magical moment isn't a prerequisite for a lifetime of love. Worry number 2. Am I spending enough time with my child? Another big worry for parents is that they don't spend enough time with their children, especially for parents who work outside the home or who have more than one child. A common thread that many parents share is that they fear their children won't grow into successful, respectful, well-rounded individuals if they don't spend enough time with their parents. In my early days of motherhood, I thought it would be a piece of cake to carve out time for doing crafts with my kids on a regular basis, read to them every afternoon, plant flowers in the yard together, and cuddle on the couch while our 5-course dinner was cooking each night. That dream quickly fizzled once I found myself with 4 kids under the age of 5. Forget arts and crafts. All of my time was spent diapering a baby, filling sippy cups for the other 2 toddlers, and chasing the oldest around the yard while she picked all the flowers out of our garden. Of course, kids do want to spend a lot of time with their parents, but it's how you spend the time that counts, not how much. Don't get hung up on all the actual hours. Instead, focus on what you and your kids are doing during your time together. If you're a full-time working parent like I am, focus on the early evening and dinner time. Give up a few chores during the evening hours to play board games or to take a walk in the neighborhood or go on a field trip to the grocery store. An hour of focused, relaxed interaction is better than a whole day of frantic busyness. So stop worrying about the limits of your time and just make the most of the time you have together. Worry number 3. Is my child not as smart as the other kids? Feeling that your child is not as smart as others his age is one of the top worries parents face. And it's not easy to avoid, especially if you have friends with kids the same age or live in a neighborhood with lots of kiddos who are in the same grade as your child. But unless you want to add years to your parenting life, Don't worry if your child does not appear to be up to snuff academically as other kids. Just as kids develop their own personal interests and dislikes, they also develop at their own pace intellectually. 3 of my children had speech and learning delays, so I know firsthand how difficult it can be to watch your 4-year-old struggle with putting together a simple puzzle while his best friend is already reading. Worrying about whether or not your child will be as smart as the other kids drains you of the energy you could be using to help build his skills. 2 of my developmentally delayed children are now in college and doing great, so turn your worry into something productive, and it will benefit your entire family in the long run. Worry number 4. What if my son likes to play with dolls? It's not uncommon for parents to want their daughters to be enthralled with all things pink and girly, and for their sons to be rough and tough and the stars of the soccer team. But what about when that little princess prefers to climb trees and race trucks, or that little boy prefers to play chef and feed cakes to his stuffed animals? Worry not. It's completely normal for boys and girls to explore and play with toys and other imaginative scenarios that are not gender-based. For example, only 1 of my 3 daughters enjoys clothes and makeup. The other 2 prefer jeans and sneakers. 2 of my 5 sons would rather make a feast for the family than belong to a sports league, but they love cheering on their favorite national teams or going to watch one of their siblings play. Don't get hung up on keeping things gender-based. So what if your child doesn't stick to stereotypes? Instead of worrying, encourage your kids to explore their passions and watch their unique personalities and talents unfold. And worry number 5, what would people think? Worrying about what other people think of your parenting style is truly one of the biggest wastes of your time and energy. The biggest. I can't tell you how many times I've been scrutinized for the size of my family, or for allowing my 5-year-old daughter to wear a ghastly combination of plaid and stripes so as to avoid a morning battle. There is no way around it. In your parenting journey, you will inevitably encounter opinionated bystanders eager to put in their 2 cents, whether you asked for it or not. So give yourself a gift right from the beginning and banish the opinions of others. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. You, your spouse or partner, your true friends and the family members who are in your inner circle, they're the ones who matter. And since you're already doing a pretty darn good job balancing raising your kids, nurturing your personal relationships, running your household, working, and trying to find the time to take care of yourself, you're ahead of the game. So, with that in mind, celebrate all that you're doing right and don't spend your precious time worrying about how it looks to others. What parenting worries have you had to lay to rest? Share your thoughts in the comments section at quickanddirtytips.com/mighty-mommy, or post your ideas on the Mighty Mommy Facebook page, or you can email me at mommy@quickanddirtytips.com. And don't forget, visit my family-friendly boards at pinterest.com/mightymommyqdt. I hope you have a great week with your kids and family. Don't worry, and until next time, happy parenting.